Good morning, everyone. Treasure Troller here with the recap of last night's Alone episode. Before we go into that, there was a couple of comments that were from last night's vlog that for some reason the comments that I can't reply to them because it says comment no longer available, but it shows up. I can't respond to them. But somebody had asked me or made a comment about I had said they may ask about voter registration, and someone made a comment about, well, they'll ask about showing them your guns, or do you have any guns? And I wrote back saying, well, that maybe in some cigar smoke-filled think tank room, they think it would be a good idea to go knock on doors and ask people if they have guns. But for the people probably asking questions are probably going to think that's not such a good idea, because maybe someone would be more than happy to show them their guns. And like I said, I'm just not sure that's a rabbit hole I would want to venture down. So as far as getting on to last night's Alone episode, well, Clay got the deer. Of course, I kind of knew he did. I've heard that dull thump or that splat before on a few occasions. So I knew he hit it, and I knew he hit it well. And of course, over the last 2 seasons, the individual that got the big game was the one that eventually won the show. You got to lean a little bit towards that. It's still pretty early in the... I don't know when Roland got his buffalo. I just think it might be a little early yet to make that prediction, but there's a pretty strong chance that Clay is going to win this. From the other ones, Coulter, is going the vegetarian diet, and who'd have thought that a bear would find a stash of berries? I mean, really? It must have been like even a blind bear finds a stash of cranberries once in a while. I mean, he kind of knew that was going to happen. And he's just now getting around to putting a fish trap out after 3 weeks. I mean, I know he's been busy building the boat, but, he talked about how it was great laying on his backside picking onions when he could have been making the fish trap and had that out sooner. And the other thing too is, now I know Roland was Roland was trying to stash some plants, and it didn't work out because of the shelter he was in. But the plant thing and storing the plants, it doesn't seem to work out real well. So I'm curious to see how that will work out for Coulter. But I have to say, that's the best damn fish trap that's been on the show so far. Teresa, other than someone said before, if you knew you were going to build a hut like that, why didn't you bring a shovel? Which probably would have made life a little bit easier. I mean, they spent basically 3 weeks showing us her digging her sand castle or her sand pit, whatever. So not much on her, even less on Rose. I mean, they finally managed to give her 30 seconds. The first time we've seen her since they've dropped her off on Bear Island. The only thing I worry about her is I do love the minimalist attitude of the shelter she's in. But first, we haven't been inside, so I'm not sure she's got a fireplace in there or a fire pit. And the other thing is, well, those sort of stick ones with the evergreen roofs, they're the ones that seem to catch on fire all the time. So I'm curious to see if she actually has a fire pit, and I guess I'm laying odds right now on Rose's tent to go up in flames, or Rose's shelter to go up in flames before anybody else's. Biko, I love the way he sort of poked fun at some of the other contestants when he was talking about when using a knife, wear gloves, and make sure you know where all your essential items are, and don't press the tap out button. But I thought it was pretty cool about him making fun of some of the prior contestants' woes. And then there's Nate, the lone Michigan man, my brother from the militant state of Michigan. You know, I was rooting for you, Nate. You know, I'm a MacGyver. I'm not a survivalist. Boy, if the fish are in, I'm here forever. Okay, well, here's the deal. I'm tapping out. I'm not really going to criticize someone for health reasons for tapping out, but it just seems like I guess these survivalists these days are more woke than the other previous contestants, where you know, if someone felt ill in prior seasons, they went into their tent and they just, you know, rested up and they drank some water. They've had people, you know, be out gathering wood and just pass out and then get up and carry on. So I think from a physical standpoint, these contestants seem to be a bit more woke than previous seasons. And you know, I know my limits, and once again, it's the main prize of alone is getting on alone. You know, this it's almost getting in the island is a time of reflection in these people's lives about the things they're not doing, what, you know, that they should be doing. And once they figure that out, well, then it's time to leave. So, and I guess what I found a little bit interesting was, although no one else other than Clay, none of the other contestants are doing that well with food, but they're not complaining about it. They're really not complaining about it. I mean, with the exception of Clay, I would probably give Biko the nod right now, because Biko just seems to have a pretty good grasp of things, even and he's also the one that's dealing with what seems to be the most adversity. You know, he's not getting fish. He hasn't had a lot of success, and the ones that don't have success early in the season seem to do well in the later parts. And with the exception of the last 2 years, that's the way things have gone. So I'm going to give Biko a little bit of an edge for the non-food crowd. You got to give it to Clay right now. He's set for a while. But that's really about it for this one. I just a little bit, just kind of noticed although there was, for those remaining participants, with only Clay getting a deer, the rest of them didn't really have much to show for, and Nate was the only one that was really having a hard time dealing with it. So not a real exciting episode. I just keep thinking that maybe this season is set up to be that way, just because of the lack of food. And I know on Facebook they were complaining about people referring to it as sort of a starvation contest, but I got an email from the History Channel announcing tonight's episode, or last night's episode, earlier that day, saying starvation versus $500,000. So, you know, even the History Channel is making it out to be a starvation challenge. So I'm not sure what people are really complaining about, but that's about it. We'll see how things work out next week. But Clay's in the lead. Biko is a distant second. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.